Hello. It is Friday, I guess, and I'm just going to keep making these little short videos until I figure something else to do. I'm thinking my ex and I are still friends, and he's pretty good with computers, that maybe he'd add some content. I have a person that's going to help me get monetized if I can come up with a couple of hour videos. And I know y'all probably just don't want to hear just this crazy blonde raving about nonsense. So I'm going to leave it to him to find some content. He is just extremely well versed in music trivia and things like that. He has every song that the Beatles ever did, and every song written for the Beatles to do, and every song any one Beatle did by themselves or with somebody else. Anyway, it's pretty intricate. He goes into a lot. But if there's movies you guys want to see, something that I can put out there that you might be of interest in, I said I'm kind of a plethora of useless information. But anyway, did you guys see Katy Perry confessed that that space fiasco was indeed just that, a fiasco? I said it was. Well, common sense, folks. I mean, sometimes it isn't bad to have been on this earth for a long time. And if you remember the details, if we even research the details of the 1969 moon landing, I mean, the most simplistic things like having helmets on, like not having a door you can open from the inside, the scorch thing. Jeff Bezos is feeling really bad, but like I said from day one, it is not that we were scammed, and it is why did Jeff Bezos attempt to orchestrate this thing? Okay, Elon Musk getting a whole lot of attention. My guess is, in part, he wanted to keep up with Elon Musk, or to catch up with Elon Musk. But it's got to be more than that. People like Katy Perry, for one thing, it looked like a girl's pillow fight party, bringing in those little stuffed animals and stuff. But she kept holding up her event she hasn't had a hit in 10 years, maybe to make more money, have more people show up to her shows. But I still thought she was very relevant. People like Gayle King. Okay, Gayle is never going to escape being Oprah's best friend, but maybe it was to put some more layers in there. And the Kardashians, well, if it indeed cost several million and Bezos just didn't allow all of these rich women to go without paying something, well, I mean, Kardashians can afford to pay to be on any excursion, right? I mean, just because you can probably does not necessarily mean that you should, and that in many, many levels of truth to that statement. But why? Were they testing to see how gullible we were? Were they, again, just trying to everybody become more relevant, be seen? Rich people's pastime? You see, if they had put it out there as a satire and made a comedy skit, I would have said, well, no, that's really fun. They're all good friends, and that's very cute. My appreciation, personally, would have went a whole lot deeper. But to try to pull one over on us. You guys are going to be joining me soon. Maybe we can call this the tinfoil hat group, right? Yeah, it's getting unfortunate that those of us that really embrace the conspiracy theories just don't seem to be going wrong very often these days. Okay, well, what's going on with me? Well, my husband's a little upset with me on a different note. He feels like all the hacking and cracking that we get going is something that I am saying to offend people. But my reach isn't that far. I mean, on here, I'm not a big YouTube content creator, obviously. I'm obviously not professional. I don't even know how to edit this thing. But on Facebook, on there, I have been ghosted for years. Most of what I posted for a long time didn't see the light of day. And I know it was because I'm with the R team. But here's just a little thing that happened just yesterday. I got in the mail a notice from the election board, and I checked out if it was indeed for them. The tragic part about being a tinfoil hat person is that you don't trust. You get an ad in the mail and you don't trust it to be coming from the person that they say it's coming from. But it had the correct number to be from the election board. And I called them and I said, why are we getting these little surveys and things asking if my husband, Mr. Meyer, had moved out and moved somewhere else? I was trying to grasp what they might be gathering, or if some collections thing or some other motive. And no, it was indeed from the election board. And they said it is because they have had numerous letters to Jim returned. And we advertise a little bit that we're on the R team, and we're even volunteers for them. And my husband, we've got a magnet on the car for disabled veterans. And that is nothing about making money or anything. As I've told you guys, making any money of consequence eludes me. If you have ideas that aren't selling my soul to the devil, by the way, feel free to email me. But I know that sometimes people don't like veterans. I mean, my husband thinks it's all something that I'm doing and saying on social media. But it would have had to been our mailman decided not to deliver them to him. Could they have had a wrong address? I don't think it's that simplistic, because I don't think the mailman would risk his job not delivering. However, I did find my mail one time in the trash, but I thought that was because he made an honest mistake and delivered it to the wrong house, and they threw it in the trash so I could find it in the trash. You know how on trash day you have your big red barrel out there, and so it's totally empty, and I open it and there's my mail in there. But for a long time, most of my stuff was going to the next street over, the same address, only to the next street over. It was a problem with groceries and stuff, but hopefully we have that resolved. I learned something about independence that I didn't care for. If you get somebody else's stuff, you're welcome to keep it. I had always thought it'd be better, since you gotta freaking live out here, that you go take it to them. And if you're not muscle bound, like you can't bring the groceries to me, get my number and call me and say, or take just a walk down here a few steps and say, your stuff's here. I'm letting you know it's there. That's what I would do. No sugar honey iced tea. I sure would. I'm no saint. When my husband accused me of probably being the one that's peeing everybody off, I assume he's probably correct. But I make a real solid effort. Most of the time. Just doesn't always work out that way. But anyway, that's where it's at. See, I don't know. The reason that I don't think that I'm the instigator, obvious, is because at the end of the day, I always say there's so much civil unrest among us. We are just the little people with allergies. We're just little people with allergies. We are but struggling people working to make ends meet and get ahead, playing the game. They are, call them whatever you want, the oligarchy, George Soros, so the bloody rich, the billionaires, millionaires. They're playing the music and they're batting us around like cat toys. That's why I feel at the end of the day, a nice bipartisan message is that we need to get past a lot of this garbage and try to work it out. I do feel you all on the left have fallen pretty far from what you once were, but I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just saying, if I'm the one making people mad and getting when Jim's card gets hacked, he, as you guys know, he is the one that's bringing in all the money now, and it makes it so we can't pay bills that are pressing. So far, that hasn't been a real big issue, but they've detained it a few times, and I don't know. anymore I feel overwhelmed by the number of roadblocks that life throws in my path. I don't think it is just simply because we play for the R team, but I know that is part of it. But have you ever just set out to go somewhere and have fun and maybe make a friend or visit a friend or pet an animal and plant in your yard, and you just want good things and happiness, and there's just something always falling in your way that, oh, grr. But anyway, I will wrap this thing up. But again, I'm going to call my ex and see if he can make some movies or something to put on here and add some content so I can get monetized, because I really want my son and I to work on this as a team. I've thought about getting a team going with like other people. One guy I really had in mind, and he just disappeared. He's disappeared before, but why do people do that to me? I guess I must be a pain in somebody else's behind constantly. I don't know. It might be what my husband thinks too. But okay, anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And if you have movies, something like that, suggestions, I always leave information for you to reach me. But I think my husband too didn't get any sleep. Who somebody was calling, and I do think this had my name written all over it, because I put his phone number out there for the main one a lot of times, and somebody gave him prank phone calls all last night, so he was mad. And that, yeah, that probably was, but what you guys don't get is it mainly is all pranks to me. I don't mind the pranks and stuff, and I'm not ever seriously recommending that you do anything heavy to anybody. Yeah, I know. I made a video on a gadget. It's called the Dolphin. You can look it up. It's just a couple videos back there that can change the channels on people's TVs, and minor pranks, and it can ring some of the older doorbells. Things like that. And see, just, and maybe even change a sign or something, like the ones that light up on your Wendy's and McDonald's. They can do more things than that. But see, I would never push for anything like that. If I am causing people pain because I just keep putting out in the universe something questionable, questionable is good. Like I said, I'm a tinfoil hat person, and if I can make it to where you're thinking about everything the media is telling you, then I'm doing something good, because you should question everything. If they tell you it's a bright sunny day, you grab your umbrella before you walk out that door. That part I mean. But at heart, I really am more of an old hippie than anything else. You know, I don't mean a lot of smoke with a lot of people. But anyway, you have yourself a wonderful weekend.